for the town. As always, the first order is public comment. Well, we have thousands here tonight, but anyone want to speak? No, there's no public comment. So I'm declaring, I always like to use the gavel because it's fun.
Recording in progress.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. I'm declaring a public hearing to consider modifying the exemption for property tax based on assessed value for qualifying elderly residential property owners. So this is our second go-around at this. We needed a second public hearing. We're having it.
That's correct.
And this was a recommendation by the Finance Committee, and we looked at it in detail at our last meeting. We needed 2 public hearings. It's on the warrant
It is
for
on,
town meeting.
all 3 of these are on the warrant for town meeting, Peter. This one is the modifying the elderly exemption for
Right.
property tax.
And it goes up a bit, and there's also a qualification for it in terms of eligibility,
Correct,
which is important to me.
correct.
Does the board feel any further discussion is needed?
No, I think we should just note that we had, as you said, we've had pretty extensive conversation regarding all this.
So, hearing none, I'll take a vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? It is passed.
Pierre, the
Yes,
only
sir.
thing I suggest we add in as part of the minutes is that when there's another assessment, just remind
Right,
the select board or to the director of assessor that they should just look at it.
Correct.
Whatever they do is up to them, but just to review.
This has been, I don't know, we haven't looked at this for many, many years, and the Finance Committee brought this to our attention and like to get us into a habit of looking at it every time we do a reval.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it just, minutes should just reflect that.
Yeah, and if Kari was here tonight, I was gonna ask her to, I was gonna put her in charge of that, but anyway. No, we'll build that into the system, thank you. So I'm closing that public hearing and opening another one. Public hearing to consider modifying the exemption from property tax based on assessed value for qualifying disabled residential property owners. And the same story relates to that. We've looked at this in some detail, recommended by the Finance Committee. Any further discussion needed?
Do you need a motion, sir?
Oh, yeah, I guess we need a motion. Can we get a, yes, thank you.
So moved.
So, all right. Let the record show that we had a motion and moved and seconded on the second item as well. Okay, so all those in favor of the disabled residential property qualifications, all those aye?
Aye.
That public hearing is closed. Public hearing to consider modifying the exemption from property tax based on assessed value for qualifying blind residential property owners. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Do I hear a second? Same story. Any further discussion needed? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. It passes as well. Close that public hearing. Town meeting update.
so we're busily in planning mode for the town meeting. And typically, this evening is the night when you select the warrant articles that you want to actually make the motions for at town meeting. So if it's all right with you, Peter, I just wanted to go through the warrant and everybody,
Well, I think we should give everything to
you
Joanne.
could give it all to Joanna since she's absent
Absolutely.
tonight. And
Absolutely.
she
No,
did,
Nancy gets her.
Nancy gets her.
Nancy gets the
Nancy gets
capital,
her,
the capital reserve
she has to read all,
contributions.
all those numbers.
In and
Oh,
out.
let's go through them. Okay, let's go through it.
So we always prepare a script for you with each of the warrants in large print and with the information included. So for example, for Article 12, we'll plug in all the names for you that you're going to be moving from on the floor of town meeting. So Article 12 is appointments to the Advisory Board of Assessors, fence viewers, surveyors of wood and timber, and also the Pine Park Commissioner.
Who would like to do that?
Doesn't Joanna usually do that one?
Yep,
I think she does.
she does.
And
Okay.
so if she's, then she might as well do 13, 14, and 15,
The
right?
3 exemption
Yeah,
warrant articles?
yeah,
Okay. Especially wearing her Board of Assessors hat?
sure.
Okay.
Makes sense.
So Joanna will take Articles 12 through 15,
Yep.
Uh,
6 to
and then you get the land and capital improvements fund and, the conservation fund and and the land and capital improvements fund allocations, as well as the next Article 18, which is the appropriation of money into the municipal transportation improvement fund.
Well, let me, should Bill do the union ones?
Yeah.
Sure, he does.
Okay,
Those are which ones?
those are Articles 22, 23, and 24.
So he went,
And Peter's doing 25.
Peter does the budget.
Unless somebody wants it.
You're
It's up for the
good.
taking.
You're good.
Okay.
And I do 20 and 21.
And Nancy does the long ones, which,
Nancy does Articles 20 and 21.
Yeah.
so I can do these,
So you want to
where
do,
are we starting?
you want to do
16?
16, 17, 18, and 19, Alice, but that, yeah,
Sure, they're all very short.
they're all short. And you will notice that I did move, so Joanna had wondered why we didn't have the appropriation to do the project on Reservoir Road from Hemlock to the Strong Trail right after the deposit into the Municipal Transportation Improvement Fund, so I did move those around on the warrant, so they're back to back.
Wait, I should just remember, oh no, Joanna's got 3 or 4. Okay, fine, so that's,
Yeah,
That
so
seems
Bill
reasonable.
Bill picks up 22,
all right, well,
right?
why don't you stay in order?
Sure.
yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah,
Now
go.
we're on 20.
No, now we're in 16, so Alphys is gonna do 16, 17, 18, and 19?
Sounds good.
Okay. And Bill,
No,
you,
no, wait,
Nancy's
wait,
gonna
start
do-
20,
yep,
we're on 20, Nancy?
Nancy's doing 20 and 21.
Correct.
She gets the stellar ones.
Yeah, she's special.
And I'll do
22, 23, and 24. And then Peter is doing 25. And then typically Jeremy Eggleton moves Article 26.
Okay. So town meeting's gonna be the normal day, normal place?
Monday, May 10th, Tuesday, oh boy, Tuesday, May 10th, official ballot voting of 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. in the Hanover High School Gymnasium. The business meeting begins at 7 p.m. in the gym of Hanover High School.
I noticed a note about testing the machines at 9.
Here at Town Hall, so we
Oh,
have to
okay.
test the ballot, the voting machines prior to the election.
The day prior, that's the.
No,
No,
it's 2 weeks prior, I think we're doing it on the 27th or 28th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you need our assistance? It's all set?
No, you're all set. That is just testing that the machine card that's programmed to match the warrant is counting votes properly. So we're obligated to do that once the computer card is programmed for the readers, the optical scanners.
And do you want to assign us times to be
For
present?
election day.
Yes.
Yep, so Athos cannot do a shift during the day because he's on the
Okay.
ballot, but the rest of you can break up coverage for the polls that day.
What day of the week is that?
Because they get a really long break.
You want to, you historically have seemed to like the early shift.
I do accept
Which
that
no one wants to
sometimes
argue,
people,
no one else likes to argue with
I
that.
enjoy doing the later shifts.
yeah,
It's
so
a
so I
Tuesday.
can do like a 6:45 to, what is it, 9:45, 10:45?
So if there are 4 of you and you've got a 12-hour shift, you each need to work 3 hours. So Nancy, would you do 7 to 10?
Yep. Yes,
And
ma'am.
then Bill?
Yeah, I can do either the 10 to 1 or 1 to 4.
Depending on Joanna's
I'd rather
schedule?
do the latter one. I'd rather
So I
do-
can, I'll check with Joanna and I'll, one or the other. We'll
Okay,
just
all right.
do what's better, I don't
So
care.
Bill or Joanna, and then Peter, you like to do 4 to 7?
Please.
Okay,
I'll email Joanna to see what she wants.
okay.
In case she has meetings that day.
Okay?
Yep.
Okay, so I move that we set polling hours for town meeting May 10th, 2022, from 7 till
7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
7 a.m. to 7 p.m., and then the business meeting from 7 p.m. until it ends.
Correct.
Second, sorry, Nancy.
So second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, we have polling hours. We have, I move that we accept the donation to the Hanover Police Department by Joseph and Mary Ann?
She
Miriam,
says Mary.
Mary.
Miriam paid
Mary,
for,
yes.
which they do every year. It's very,
Oh,
it's a
wonderful.
lovely annual tradition of theirs.
Great, great. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second it.
Bill seconds it. Any further discussion? Except to say thank you.
Yes, thank you. Peter.
All those in favor?
Aye.
It passes. Minutes. I saw nothing in the minutes. They got me going.
Thank you, Mary.
Anybody have any additions, corrections, or deletions to the minutes of, there's two of them, aren't there?
Yeah.
Yes.
March 30th, let's do March 30th, 2022.
That was a quick meeting, right? No.
No, not the March.
That was the 5:31 to,
That was mine, those are my minutes that I did for, yeah, pretty,
Wait,
pretty
which meeting was
impressive, huh?
it?
town assessors, when we talked about the Dartmouth College, it was emergent, it was.
You
the-
weren't there,
the
I thought.
special
No, I wasn't.
meeting.
It was
Were
a
you
brief-
there?
it was a
That's
brief-
right, you
It was
were.
a brief meeting.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, we talked for a long time, but it wasn't like the full.
Correct, correct. It was all relative to
What I
the
should say is-
taxation of the golf course.
We covered the topic extensively, but there was only one topic.
Correct.
Well, put.
Exactly, exactly. Any other additions, corrections, or deletions to March 30? I think I moved them, so,
I'll second.
okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
They are approved. I move the meeting minutes of April 4th, 2022, which was the meeting of the public, the meeting before
Julie?
accepting all the warrants.
Yeah.
Peter,
Yes, sir.
I'll second them just so we can open for discussion.
for the one for March 30th, you might want to add that Joanna was absent. She,
Was she absent?
She
already?
was.
She recused herself.
she recused.
She recused herself, so,
She was not absent.
I can,
She was out.
She was not present.
she was not
Oh,
present,
because it was all,
because it was a Dartmouth property issue, so
Yes.
she did not, we're back on the 30th, Peter, that's
Oh,
where
we're
you're
back on the
confused.
30th.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Apples
oh, that's all
moved.
right, that's all right. I'm happy to go back to the 30th.
Yeah,
So,
I would just throw that in there.
so she's not listed as present,
correct.
so you just make a note that she.
I mean, typically, we don't list board members who are absent from meeting minutes,
No,
that's
the
good.
other
But I-
minute takers do.
Oh,
I
okay,
think
all
it'd be
right.
worthwhile doing.
In fact,
Okay, so I'll make it that note
The
then.
one for April 4th, for example, is done in that format.
And just say she recused herself.
Okay,
She's not present and recused herself.
yeah,
Good catch, Athos, thank
And
you.
you used a different
Thank you.
font than our other minute takers.
I know, I'm sorry. It's habit, I just am a Times New Roman person, always have been, always will be.
Okay.
Sometimes you have to adjust.
Oh, really?
That was a stab. That was a good one. Somebody told me, I was complaining about something, and one of my colleagues at work said, you know, sometimes you just have to look in the mirror.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, so we're now on April 4th. I move the minutes of April 4th, 2022.
So second.
Is there any discussion about those minutes? Corrections, deletions, blah, blah. Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye, they pass. We're moving right along here. Administrative report.
It is town meeting prep time, what can I say? We're also continuing to follow several bills in the legislature, including a bill which was exec today in municipal and county government. I've not yet gotten the update that would prevent us from regulating short-term rentals in Hanover, which is a sore
I
subject.
thought I read in the paper that was kind of tabled.
No, the governor is not happy with the bill. He doesn't feel he thinks it's overreach on the legislature's part, but the Senate approved it.
Okay.
And it's now before the House Municipal and County Government Committee. We submitted testimony in opposition to the bill, as did many other communities. So we'll see how this plays out. But I just wanted you to know that we're continuing to monitor that bill, because we really think it should be up to individual communities to make decisions about how to balance, sort of property owners' rights with neighborhood and community rights around short-term rentals. So I don't know how that's going to play out. it's possible that it will come out of the House with a thumbs up and get approved and the governor would veto the bill. Then again, he may choose not to veto the bill, so we'll just have to see how this plays out. But it could impact the rental housing ordinance that we're proposing to bring to the select board in June, because that provides some meat on the bones around regulating short-term rental licensing, inspections, and number of days that can be rented, and owner-occupied versus owner-unoccupied, and among other rental issues, including long-term rentals, off-campus student housing, and other types of rentals. So we're just watching that bill pretty carefully.
Okay.
You know, we also had just before I forget, Peter, Congresswoman Custer came to spend some time with us on Thursday morning to take a look at the multi-use path that we're planning to build from Verona down along the Girlbrook corridor and over to the Ray School and connecting to the middle school. And if you recall, that's money that we appropriated in the proposed budget. It's an earmark. It's about $350,000 that Congresswoman Custer's office was instrumental in getting placed in the bill that was then passed. So we had a chance to spend some time with her and her staff on Thursday morning, just walking that trail corridor. And so we're grateful for her support on that. We've just submitted to both Custer's office and Shaheen's office additional requests for other earmarked potential funding for other projects, because it's that time of year again, and they always look for communities to submit them sort of a laundry list or a wish list, and then they try and cull out from that list projects that they think are the most likely to be approved by Congress, and that also match up nicely with other projects that are being proposed by other communities. So Peter Kobaki and Rob Hausman have worked up an ongoing list of sort of wish list items for earmarked funding of the capital improvement project variety. The one thing we're concerned about, quite frankly, and we spent some time talking with the Congresswoman about this on Thursday morning, is that both the budget funding that's coming out of Congress and the infrastructure bill funding have fairly tight timelines for expenditure of those funds. And many communities can't find contractors to do the work. Or the contractors can't bid the projects because they can't get fixed pricing for materials. So I suspect that Congress is at some point going to have to sort of revisit the concept of tight timelines for expenditure, simply because communities can't do these projects all at once, given the limited number of tradespeople available and supply chain problems. So, for example, we were hoping to do the multi-use path in the Girlbrook corridor this summer, but our contractor can't get us into the schedule until next year. And technically, outside the time when we're supposed to have the monies obligated for the project, so we'll work through these issues with the Congresswoman's office, but it's a challenging time, because be careful what you wish for. Lots of money comes at us, but now we can't find contractors or materials to do the projects quickly.
Okay.
So that's it for administrative reports.
Select board,
Just a question?
please.
One article which I was a little confused by, there's money related to housing?
This is, the governor has, so the state of New Hampshire got ARPA money, as did every city and town in New Hampshire. And the state is in the process of figuring out how they want to allocate the ARPA money that they got, which is $1.2 billion, I believe, that the state of New Hampshire got. So one use of a portion of that money is a $100 million project or incentive fund that the governor wants to create to essentially provide funding for developers and communities who are prepared to get workforce housing or affordable housing done promptly. So it's a financial incentive. Again, there are pipeline issues and contractor issues this may be easier said than done, but I think the governor felt that if the state dangled a not insubstantial amount of money out there, it might incentivize communities and or developers to light a fire under potential workforce and affordable housing projects and make them happen more quickly. The details of what amount of money would be available under what kinds of conditions are not available yet. The governor is still trying to get the New Hampshire legislature to approve that use of the ARPA money. So it's been heard by the Senate, and I believe still needs to be heard by the House.
Thank you.
Okay, select board reports.
Nothing to report.
Nothing to report.
No, thank you for, do we have a Trescott meeting tomorrow?
We do not.
No public session?
No.
Okay.
Just this year, the Hanover Finance Committee, I thought, did a very good job in pursuing lots of issues and details. And so I just want to congratulate them on all their hard work, and they were very helpful this year. And so summer, we'll look at what the agenda could be for the next year.
Good.
And Peter, it's no Trescott meeting tomorrow. That's what,
Okay.
not
That's what I
non-public,
said.
no Trescott
No
meeting.
Trescott meeting.
We still need the non-public session, but no Trescott meeting tomorrow.
We do need a non-public tonight?
We do, yeah.
Okay.
I thought you misunderstood what Athos had said.
Oh,
'cause
I'm sorry.
I'm sure
Yeah.
I mumbled.
You got your mask on too, it's just a little harder to hear. Yeah.
Okay, so, select board reports. Other business? Hearing none, there has been a request for a non-public session to discuss items pursuant to RSA 91A3, 2A, C, and E.
Bill Garrity, yes?
I thought Ross says yes.
Peter Christie, yes.
Nancy Carter, yes.
We are in non-public session. Thank you.
Not bad.
And we're done after the cedar, so no motions
Thank
coming
you.
out. Thank you.
Cool, that all ended.
Great.
Kate would be proud,
Yeah.
but not that proud.
Yeah. 11 minutes is hard to beat.
Anybody have a few minutes to?
Yeah, we got some tips of the hat you gotta sign there, guys,
Okay.
and some other documents.
And at some point, our Pine Knoll certificates will run out of print, because they do still